Vendenhog does not deny that the retention of the death penalty will lead to miscarriages of justice, nor does he deny that it will continue to happen if we continue to retain the death penalty. Nonetheless, in response, he makes an interesting argument. And his argument is essentially that there are many practices or activities within society that lead to the loss of innocent life. Um, Nonetheless, we do not abolish these practices or activities. We retain them. The main reason being that the positive consequences of these practices outweigh the negative consequences, which is the loss of innocent life. So, for instance, think about road construction on the highway, something that we see often and that we don't particularly enjoy, but it is important to society. There are benefits to doing road construction to keep the road safer overall. Nonetheless, it happens that some people who are driving on the highway um, get into accidents due to the construction. You can imagine that they're doing road construction at night and it's dark out and a person's driving on the highway and they don't recognize the construction in time, and for whatever reason they get into an accident and maybe lose their own life. That must happen at least a few times a year. So innocent people lose their lives as a result of this road construction. Do we abolish road construction because of this loss of innocent life? Clearly not. Why? Because the benefits of retaining road construction outweigh the the costs of retaining road construction. Even if some innocent people lose their lives as a result of road construction, presumably there would be worse consequences if we abolished road construction altogether. Therefore, the positive consequences seem to outweigh the negative consequences. And again, those negative consequences are serious, loss of innocent life. But just because there's loss of innocent life, that does not automatically show that that particular practice should be abolished. You can also think of law enforcement, right? Sometimes police officers will mistakenly kill an innocent person, which is clearly unjust, but we do not abolish law enforcement because of these few negative consequences. And again, presumably the reason is that the positive consequences of law enforcement outweigh these negative consequences. They outweigh this loss of some innocent life. And Vendenhog wants to make the same argument regarding the death penalty. Yes, there are negative consequences, the loss of innocent life. 25 people have lost their lives over an 85-year period, and more people have been sentenced to death and then exonerated. Those are negative consequences. But the positive consequences of the death penalty outweigh those negative consequences. Now, what are the positive consequences of the death penalty? Vendenhog is a bit brief here. He says that there are both moral and material benefits to retaining the death penalty. By moral, I think that he's referring to the idea that murderers deserve death. This is going back to his Kantian based argument based in respect for the dignity of the criminal. Okay, so the one positive benefit of the death penalty is that we are achieving justice. We are achieving the moral outcome, which is giving the murderer, the criminal, what they deserve. And Vendenhog sees that as one of the positive benefits of retaining the death penalty. We are being moral. We are doing justice. But the material benefits that he refers to, I think, refer to the idea of deterrence. And we'll get to this in a moment in more detail. But the general idea of deterrence is that by having the death penalty as a possible punishment, you are deterring potential criminals from committing the crimes that would be punishable by death. In other words, since people fear the death penalty, they will not commit the crime that could be punished with death. So by retaining the death penalty, we are actually deterring some future murders from happening. And that is a more material benefit to society. So in Vanden Hog's eyes, there's both moral and material benefits to retaining the death penalty, and these benefits outweigh the costs, which are the miscarriages of justice.